the one and only Mr. Jeremy Kyle. Jeremy, very good morning to you.
Can I just say you did the right thing yesterday? Oh dear. Oh
Well,
dear.
are you suffering?
No, not too much. No, I'm all right.
No,
listen, I'm taking the kids to school this morning. I'm listening to Morning Glory. I'm loving it. I'm not going to, just absolutely fantastic. And look at you. It's the only time I've ever spent a Sunday afternoon with the Mike Grahamster, and he goes, I'm going to have to leave.
It's true.
He was normally dedicated to his show, he had to get to bed. That's what we're telling him, Mikey.
I did, and I was in bed at 10 o'clock, and I was awake at 4:15.
Were you?
Yeah, and I'm feeling absolutely great, fantastic.
You're sounding amazing. Isn't it good to be back with just common sense?
The home of common sense, absolutely brilliant. There's so many great stories for you to go at as well today.
Has he gone yet? Has Humza Useless gone
No,
yet?
not yet, but I reckon by the time you get in, he will have gone, because I think they're literally...
I always thought with that, mate, on a serious note, I always thought to myself that they sold him and that dreadful woman up north I got into trouble about calling wee Jimmy cranky. Yeah. They charge people £5, and lots of Scottish people bought into that, right? £5, they spent hard-earned money, and what did they do with it? They bought a home. They bought a mobile home, and I mean, it's dreadful. Dreadful.
Yep. Well, we can't go into all of those police investigations, as you know, Jeremy, but I mean, it's certainly, you never know where it's all going to go next. But the great thing about old Humza Useless is we got Alex Salmond due to come on this morning. He suddenly had to go into negotiations. So he's in negotiations even as we speak. Nobody quite knows exactly where that's going to end. But, Alex Salmond, the kingmaker, of course.
Isn't it interesting that Ash Regan, the one that stood against Humza Useless, right, and lost out, defected to Alba, which is, of course, Alex Salmond's party. Alex Salmond thrown out. Alex Salmond completely obliterated by Nicola Sturgeon. Yeah. I'm not allowed to say, Jimmy. All right, OK. And now Ash Regan, the one vote he needs to keep it. I tell him where to go. I think he's awful, don't you, and useless.
Of course, absolutely right. But my sort of highlight of the morning for me so far has been my brilliant idea, which I'm hoping you can endorse, which is that if they don't like the migrants going over to Ireland, then we should send even more of them. And we did some research. My research department here, we worked out £130.
I've got a research department, have you?
Yeah, I've got a whole research department. It's called Christian and Ricky. And we've got basically 130 quid. You can get a family of 4 in a car on the ferry from Stranraer to Belfast, right? And if we get enough of them, we can even give them a free car. It will still be cheaper than sending them to Rwanda.
Well, to be honest, Rwanda's the biggest waste of money in the history of the world. I'm actually not in a nice hotel with a hangover somewhere in Surrey. I'm actually in Stranraer getting ready to hire a car. No, I'm joking. Mate, can we just take 1 minute and explain to people, well, not explain to people, justify this. We give £500 million a year to France, who willfully let boats come across the ocean without even so much as a backward glance. And now the Irish, who, by the way, are part of the European Union, want to send them back. And I'm totally with you. If they want to send them back, why are we not sending people back to France? I've been saying it for months, man.
Well, 500 million quid, all we've got to show for it so far is a very large Rambo knife that they've used to puncture a couple of the dinghies. It's the most expensive knife in history.
And O'Leary from Ryanair saying, I am up for it. Of course he is. Anything for a few quid.
Exactly right. Now, what else can you tell me about the brand new drive time show, 4 o'clock kick-off?
Well, I think we'll be talking about migration, Humza Useless and potholes, to be honest. But as with your thing this morning, mate, it's about getting back to the point where the viewers and the listeners can be involved. That's the most important thing. I spent 2 years talking. I don't want to say anything. I want to hear from everybody. What do they think? When we did that research before, and potholes and Harry and Meghan, and all those things that really resonate with our viewers and our listeners, and that's the most important thing, mate.
Exactly. 14 billion quid is what potholes are costing the economy. I came in this morning in a car which was driven by somebody from what can only be described as a hire company, and it was literally like shaking like this, because the roads are so uneven. Of course, I've been driving in my own car, which is a slightly better upholstered scenario. Nice. But this thing was like the old bone shaker. I felt like, my teeth were going to fall out.
When we go on about like what's going on in the world and we talk about all those important things, the truth of the matter is potholes, those sorts of things. When you struggle to pay for your petrol, you struggle to pay your road tax and your insurance. And how much money, by the way, is it costing the average person who goes through a pothole to get a new wheel or stuff?
Yeah, I know.
Dreadful, mate.
Shocking.
So all of that All
well,
of
listen,
that.
can't wait. I can't wait. I maybe even talk to you on your show later because I'll have had a sleep by then.
So it's you into Julia rather than Julia into you. It's a sort of reverse handover.
It is. Well, sometimes a change is as good as a rest. You know how that saying goes.
She's right up for it this morning. Look, it's right up for it is old Hartley Brewer. Ian's as calm as anything. Drive time will be on at 4. And Crazy Kev from 7.
The great name for Kevin's new show. It's Kevin's.
What is it?
It's Kevin's Political Asylum.
God.